Jasmine. I blog over at runjasminerun.blogspot.com, and I'm doing this video to share my running story. So I felt like it was appropriate to share my running story because, like, if I'm gonna be this blogger or lifestyle blogger that's centered around running, I really should share my own personal story, right? With everybody, so they know where I'm coming from. Before I start my story, I feel like mine's a little different from the stories that I've heard, like my family members tell me about their personal running story, or my friends. Mine is not really fitness related, but more of like a therapeutic rehabilitation, bettering myself emotionally and mentally running story. So just wanted to clear that up before I started my running adventure here. So my personal and running story intertwine. So in order for me to kind of begin that chapter, I'm going to have to go back about 6 years prior and talk about the person I was when I lived in Chicago. When I lived in Chicago, I was a party girl. Party girl. I was, lived that whole live fast, die young mentality. I was drinking way too much, doing, experimenting with all sorts of drugs, and, just evolving into this party monster persona that, I didn't even really know. And I think that period in my life where I was just doing a lot of drugs and drinking a lot probably stemmed from some baggage that I was carrying from when I was younger and didn't really open up and talk about. And yeah, I didn't know how to handle that except for self-medicating. And I definitely don't want to say I have any regrets, but I really wish that, when I first moved out of my parents' house, I went straight to college instead of going to work and becoming that party monster. But now I think it's just a really big blessing in my life because it has, cultivated the person that I am today. So with that said, it didn't take me until I hit like the lowest of lows, and I've had some warning signs and along the way before I hit my rock bottom. For instance, I got my stomach pumped at least 2 or 3 times. Still a little fuzzy on the time period there, but you would think that would be like, you need to do something more constructive with your life, Jasmine, but no, just kept drinking. Kept drinking. I think I drank or went out drinking the same day I got my stomach pumped. That was so stupid. But yeah, I really should have, played into my gut feeling there. But I didn't, and I hit rock bottom. And rock bottom for me was I lost everything. I lost my job. I lost my apartment. I lost respect from, my good friends, my non-party friends who were, since I've known since high school or childhood. And I lost respect from, some of my family members. And during that time period, I definitely was destructive to a lot of relationships in my life. And it took me to hit that bottom to ask for help, and I asked my family for help, and they are amazing, awesome people, and they pulled together and decided to send me to Florida. And when I got to Florida, my heart just sank because for the first time, my parents, they were utterly disappointed in me, and I could see it in their eyes. And that was a moment in my life where I realized I need to get my shit together. Like, not just for myself, but for my family too. And to prove to them that this second chance, I'm not gonna waste it. And that's exactly what I decided to do. I'm not gonna waste the second chance. I'm gonna become the best version of myself that I can be. And that is when running started happening to me. My running journey started right then and there. I met two people from the running community, and it wasn't until we played like a game of soccer across from my parents' house, and they started talking about running and all this cool stuff they do, and you know, places that they travel to, and all the people that they have met through running. And it really was like compelling to me, like this is a world that I've never thought existed. And so their like hype and their excitement about running got me excited, and I decided to sign up for my very first 5K. And I trained for it, and still to this day, that is my favorite running memory, was finishing my first 5K. And I've run marathons and ultras, but that is my favorite memory. And crossing that finish line, it changed everything for me. I crossed that finish line and I felt this sense of accomplishment I've never had in my entire life. And that's when I knew, like, this is my thing. These are my people. This is the life that I want to lead. And from there I did numerous other 5Ks, 10Ks, 15Ks, half marathons, went on to doing a 50K before a marathon, which I don't recommend, but I was not, was crazy then. I've even done a 50-miler with my now husband, and that's another thing. The running community for me, not only did it help me, get over my party girl ways and get away from drinking to the point where I need to get my stomach pumped and doing drugs, but it also introduced me to lifelong friends. Some of the most caring, motivating, inspiring, selfless people are within the running community, and I'm probably being biased because I'm a runner and I love running, but that has just been my experience. And it also introduced me to my wonderful, sweet husband. I never in a million years would ever think that I would get a catch like that, and every day I'm so thankful for him. So that is, the Cliff Notes version of my running story and personal journey. And yeah, that's it. I went from being the party girl to Run Jasmine Run. And Run Jasmine Run is just my alter ego, my superhero running self. But yeah, that's basically my run story. I hope that it motivates or inspires somebody out there, just like those two runner friends that I made inspired me to become the person I am today. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to view this video and listen in on my story. And I would love, love, love it if you could share your story. I am so fascinated by other people's running journeys. So if you want to go ahead and comment, post your story, I would love it. And I will read it. I love reading running stories. That's really hard to say at once. But yeah, please go ahead and do that. And I want to thank you again for taking this time.